Alright, so this was a very interesting episode. Let's boom, get the thing on the screen. No. Now. Right. We start in the sewers, and I don't want to be too, like, I don't want to focus too much on the general thing. I think what I've been doing too much is kind of treating that like a discussion after a reaction. And I don't want to go too far into that. This is more of a review, right? Because it's not the first time I'm reacting to this. Reacting. It's not the first time I'm watching this. So I do obviously have knowledge, and it doesn't help a lot to do like speculation or whatnot, but we can look at the art, we can look at how it's being done, right? I do like how they have very little brightness in most of these scenes, despite them looking very pretty. I'm sure they were designed very deliberately and in a really nice way, but we do have this claustrophobic feeling of going through like the sewers and not knowing where the way out is. Not sure how I feel about like the wolf scream being used as like actually probably a recording of a wolf scream or something that comes close to it. It feels very unnatural coming out of her figure the way it is, but at the same time maybe that's actually the intent, right? That's the intent, that you are being put off by something so unusual coming out of a normal, supposedly mostly normal looking human being. Sans the ears, the sound waves and everything, might not have to overdo it. I like how they did it in the past, right? In older anime where you have more like vibration sounds. I think one of the more recent series that did it was Made in Abyss in season 2. Minor spoilers, where they had in that one village in season 2, if you know, you know, that giant guardian of that village, when that came out for the first time, it kind of roared, and then there was this shaking of the screen. I like that more than this blurriness that we are seeing here. But all in all, intended effect, right? Don't have to say a lot about this. The chase is happening. I do like that we have one of the elements that are really nice is that they're like holding hands throughout all of this, which is on the one hand, like it symbolizes their bond and how they take care of one another. And we have the switcheroo where he's like more or less out of it and she takes his hand, which is the reversal of that. I do really like the way they go into action, right? We are looking at it in Lawrence's point of view, and have this screen, still not a fan of the screen shakiness, but we have the movement, bam, going in, him dodging away. It shows that he's nimble, he's actually not a dunce or whatever, and he can defend himself if he has to. Her biting the arm, and him moving into action, going for the immediate punch. Yeah, you kind of deserve that, my dude. And we have the same, they turn around, and this is a really nice scene. They turn around, the focus is on the ground, the feet are coming up, and then we see the knife going in, and it gleaming, right, shining. There's no light source, so it shouldn't be, right? But this is like artistically what it's supposed to be. It's evoking the correct feelings in us and the correct expectations. And he's actually taking a wound for her. Here, he's trying to be the tough guy, but we're looking at this once again because I hadn't paid attention during that in that specific scene. Oh wait. Are we? We're going back. Trust. Yeah, no. This is okay, and then we're getting into this point of view scene, shaking. In this case, I actually like the blurriness and the shaking because it represents very well what's happening here. Worried face, and him being like, what the fuck happened? The bags under the eyes, great design choice here. Some people say like they prefer the art style of the old one. Honestly, in some of these cases, in this case specifically, yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about the new art style. Also, a lot of uniqueness about some elements of it. But yeah, in some cases, I do prefer it too. We have a short flashback. We didn't really need that, in my opinion, but maybe it just shows her being desperate for him to be hurt that much. He's like, no, I noticed, I'm fine. Trying to still pretend, right? Because he doesn't want to worry her. That's kind of like... It's a dude thing, okay? Like, I mean, it's not just a dude thing, but it's a very stereotypical dude thing to do. And she takes the lead here because she's actually seen that there's an entrance. A little low poly here. I do like the design on like the hallway, like that or the waterway. We see really the archways one after another ending in darkness. But it's a well. It's a fucking well. Interesting shot how we go down with like the spiraling, which is like just maybe representing like it's spiraling out of control. This is not what we expected and whatnot. And this is the confrontation, right? He's pulling the knife, and we do have that. But Yare and him are talking, and we do have this thing about like Yare still blaming. Like first of all, maybe finding excuses to justify his own selfish desires. We had something similar. I did have something similar in one of the 𝗸𝕬𝕠𝕦𝕥 videos I watched, where it's like, okay, I'm putting out maybe in some way or form reasonable points that I use to justify that I'm acting in a very selfish and mean and malicious way. But he's internally blaming a lot of his misfortune and the things that happened to him in the village, like the hardships they went through on this god. But when it's convenient to him, he's also not believing in it, right? Because it's like, okay, there's this whatever devil girl, right, girl possessed by the devil, blah blah blah, and he just doesn't believe she is really what she supposedly is, or at the very least he pretends. I don't know in how far, but he was very surprised when she transformed, so I would assume that this is the case. And it's very, very neat, very cute how he's defending her. Even though she technically doesn't need defending, right? But he's standing his ground. He thinks that's the right thing to do. And he's making a business offer, right? How the way merchants do it. He learned to negotiate, and he learned to negotiate well, but he doesn't put his bets on, or doesn't realize that this is about more than just business for Lawrence. Obviously he's putting up that contractual obligation, right? I made a promise and I have to keep it, because that's what honest merchants do. But it's right, it's more than that, and everybody knows it, but he's just leaving it unspoken. Like one exchange of gazes is enough to kind of get that message across. And then they're at the standstill. Love the design. Light behind them, right, shining on them, darkness behind him. Really neat. Really subtle, but really neat. And he's turning his back on them, basically saying, don't take it personal, kid, and then just putting the death sentence on Lawrence. But she's ending this, and obviously this is an interesting thing. I don't remember exactly how it happened in the previous version of the anime, but I think it's obviously a little bit more effectful to actually go for the blood sucking instead of the wheat chewing. Although I don't know what the reason would be for her to choose one over the other, especially if he's already lost a little bit of blood. Maybe because it's readily available right there. Maybe because it's gonna make the people more afraid of her when this happens, right? Instead, right? She already looks like a blood-hungry beast or whatever. Maybe it's also some other reason that I don't have on my radar. But we're going for it, right? They're obviously taken aback. And we do have the transformation. We do not look any longer, which he's supposed to look, right? You gotta get used to it, Lawrence, right? I do like the squiggly design of the eyes, right? The way it's almost looks like a flower blooming. And we do have already the canine teeth that are coming out here, like the full canine teeth. Shaping, like, I love this part of the sequence, of the transformation sequence. Really cool, because it already shows a beastly kind of gaze, not gaze, beastly kind of like shape of her mouth and everything happening. We do use the tail a lot to obscure parts of the transformation, which is okay, I guess. The claws coming out, that's a classic in any kind of like transformation where we're ripping through the clothes, which is really cool. And this is really impressive up until a certain point. I really like that. Don't like the fluffiness here. I think there should have been a little bit more of like sharp edges on that. I don't know. I feel like what I would have done is like zoom in on the face and then her lifting up her head, so looking into the camera with the eyes, and then the eyes kind of transforming as well into something a little bit more harsh and beastly. But we're making a different choice here, and that is a cool directorial choice, right? The bag falling down and falling into the camera to use as a transition point. Rotate it 180 degrees, right? Let it drop on the ground, and have the next shot, in this case, the stunned faces of everybody. Like this shot of her, right? In terms of design, like this one. But I know there was a part of it. I think I skipped ahead. I didn't like this one. Looks like a big doggo, right? Like a Shiba Inu. It doesn't look scary. It needs to look scary. Like it looks fluffy and cuddly. I would want to cuddle with it. It doesn't matter if it's like 10 meters big. It's still cute. And I think that doesn't fit, right? You can make fluffy while still making it seem more noble, more ethereal, and more scary as well. Which in this shot I get it, right? The eye shot. I don't get it in the previous one. I get it more in this one, right? In the one that we see right here, right? Elongated snout a little bit more. The one from down below, up above, it didn't look good at all, right? I didn't like that at all. This is a much better shot of it, although I still would design it a little bit differently, but she looks more impressive, more fear-inducing, right? And she's just gonna drop them all. And this is a scary shot, right? The scale and everything. They do it, they nail it right here, but they don't nail it on the first shot they do of her face from them looking up at her. And that's kind of a miss. I do hope this is a great shot, right? Really, really bad how she looks. Well, not the quality, how she looks. And he is scared. Dude, bro, don't be scared. You saw that already, and you know her, alright? Just fucking, this is why she's sad again and dropping him and being like, I'll leave you alone. And then she still goes away because she has to process this in a way. I mean, obviously she took care of you and made sure that you're alright, but you know, she was there, but there's something hurtful about it, right? But it's nice that we get to know that she couldn't just drop the connection, which I think the sequences explaining the mercantile stuff, they're very well done, by and large. I think it's definitely something really cool. It exists on a whole other level when it comes to how we are how we're displaying this in comparison to like the more actiony part and the more slice of lifey or romancy parts. But it's also very intriguing and interesting, and I feel like they never take too much out of the episode to actually bore you with it, but rather they use it very cleverly to combine it with the different plot points to make it interesting for you and make you interested in the world he kind of is actually in. Yeah, and this is the myth, right? The little joke, it's hit or miss, I think. It shows that merchants have their own kind of humor, I guess. And the invoice where it's like, holy shit, right? He realizes, look at this goofy ass dude running. But yeah, and this is the end of the arc. She's very proud here, very proud, right? Very standoffish. It takes a lot to do, for some people, to get over this, right? Especially if you're prideful, get over that and be like, okay, you know, right? I'm gonna reach my hand. There has to be a little bit of posturing before that, especially for people like her, and even for people like him, because he's kind of mirroring her behavior over and over. Because if he wouldn't be doing that, he'd probably feel a little bit insufficient as a person, right? And I think she knows that and she appreciates that as well. But this is where we have the term being born. Don't like that shot, not gonna lie. Could have been done better. Like, especially with the background and whatnot, and blurred out, I don't care much for it. But it's important symbolism in this specific case, at the very least the two characters reaching their hands to one another. And we go into Fiend and the new arc then, and I can't wait to see what they do with the new arc. It's certainly, like I said, there's strong points, there's points where I'm like, could have been done better. Obviously, I'm very critical because I'm somebody who really loved the old series. Most elements, not all of them, mind you. And I'm also somebody who's read the novels and loves the novels as well. So high standards. And I think we should also, especially in something like a review in this case, should be talking about the good and the bad. I'm still liking it. I'm still liking it a lot. I hope I'll get to reacting to / reviewing the next arc soon, but it's probably gonna be like, either I'm gonna drop 7 and then 8 and 9, or I'm gonna do 7 and 8 and then 9. But it's probably more gonna be the former, because I got a lot to do this week. Next week's probably gonna be where I do have a little bit more free time, and next week is gonna be when episode 9 is gonna come out. So we're gonna do 7 probably, and then 8, 9, or maybe we're gonna do all of them together, 7, 8, 9, depending on how 7 ends, right? I do believe probably the next arc is gonna go 7, 8, 9, and maybe even more than that, but we'll see. We'll see how we get there. The first arc was these first like 6 episodes, so this is kind of it's not going to be exactly the same thing, but this is kind of the standard probably that we can expect, like to be like 4 to 6 episodes or 4 to 7 episodes an arc. So yeah, looking forward to it, and I'll be seeing you on the next review. I do hope, if you're interested, I did do the reaction obviously, and if you want to see the reaction, you can watch it on the Patreon. I'm thinking about maybe making it available for free members at some point in time, like at like a month or 2 after it came out. I don't know if people would be too much interested in that, right? If they'd be like, all right, I'm not that interested in watching it like a month or 2 after it came out. Obviously, you can watch it right now if you're a patron, but for free paid Patreon members, I was thinking if there's a demand or if there's people who would be interested in it, I might drop it as for free Patreon members on sometime after it came out.